Ladies and gentlemen, this story is a little bit complex for a lot of reasons. First and foremost, people always ask me, what are we doing as far as trying to actually do real work in the real world and help children and help people? Well, one of the things that we do is educate. The education that we give on this channel about these situations, using these as cautionary tales, has actually saved lives. Not only that, but our advocacy has also gotten criminals who have hurt children arrested. Not only that, but our advocacy has also helped take children to summer camp. Not only that, there's a lot of different things that we're doing as far as helping out. But I will say this. This is another situation where the education I've been trying my best to pass and spread this message of hashtag when you date thugs, you date death. And it just seems like maybe the message isn't spreading fast enough. That's why I hope that more people will share these stories and really understand where we're coming from to stop these murders from people like this. Okay? But I did get a chance to talk to the grandmother. Initially, we thought it was the mom, but I actually got a chance to talk to the grandmother in this story, and we were still limited as far as the information. I promise you, I'm gonna try to be as respectful as I can, and I hope that she doesn't get upset. I hope that the daughter doesn't get upset about what I'm about to say, because it is not going to sit well with your sensibilities. But I have to be honest, because we have to make a change, because if somebody does not put their foot down for our children, this is never going to change. That's why I think it's important to have men, important to have protectors, but to have people who stand on principle and stand on things that are right, righteous. Okay? So, the food that y'all see on my screen, I was fortunate enough, like I say, to communicate with the baby side of the family a little bit. Not much, but I did get some communication. So I want to say thank you to her. But this food that y'all see right there on my screen, whose name is Leandre Glenn. Let me see if I can back this up for a moment. I was able to find his Facebook page, and I think y'all will find his Facebook page quite interesting. One of the reasons being because he's self-proclaiming himself to be a thug. I don't know if he's claiming to be a blood or something more specific. I don't know. But like I say, you guys can go look at the pictures and make your own judgment, because I think that pictures speak 1,000 words. I think pictures can be very important when people say, well, you shouldn't judge. The Bible says you shouldn't judge. Well, I'm going to tell you guys this. If we used judgment and actually judge people, and in a lot of cases, if we used better judgment, we wouldn't end up with a situation where I'm telling about a murder of a baby, okay? An Avondale man is behind bars after being charged with murdering a 6-month-old baby. Isn't that something? A 6-month, not a 6-year-old, not a 16-year-old. 6 months. Baby hadn't even learned to talk. 6 months old. How do we get here? The food that y'all see on my screen, his name is Leandre Glenn, 21 years old. Bookmark his age. We'll come back to that. I'm going to get on to his age here in a moment. But they are saying that he purposely caused the death of the child on June the 15th, which was 15 days ago, according to a criminal complaint filed by the Cincinnati police detective in Hamilton County Municipal Court. Now, the complaint says that he was arrested Saturday based on police investigation and witness statements. Glenn was in court for an arraignment hearing on Monday morning, and a judge set his bail to $1 million. And if y'all understand the gravity of this case, I think the judge definitely did a justice there. I think the judge got it right. $1 million bail sounds about right. But Glenn's lawyer, who argued for a lower bond, said that Glenn was aware the child was dead, but stayed in the Cincinnati area. So what his lawyer is trying to say is that he didn't run from this. He's cooperating with the police. But I'm going to tell you guys, I tend to think that people who are familiar with the court system, been in front of judges before, been in some bull crap, some BS before, thugs. And again, I want y'all to remember when I say the word thug, Thugs, I'm not talking about skin color. I'm talking about actions. Most of y'all who have listened to me long enough should know that when I say thug, that refers to his actions, not his skin color. Okay? No further details of what happened to the child were revealed in court, but I actually have just a smidgen of information that I'm going to tell you guys that they haven't put in the news yet. So y'all are going to hear it here first. Cincinnati police referred questions to the prosecutor's office. Now, beyond what's in the court documents and what's said at the arraignment, we can't provide any additional information pre-indictment. Amy Clausing, a spokeswoman for the Hamilton County Prosecutor's Office, said, let me take a pause there. I'm going to tell you guys what we believe to be the cause of death of this baby, and I'm sure y'all are not going to be surprised. We believe the cause of death, and I'm not going to say this officially because I don't want to be wrong about this, but I believe the information that I have is accurate, that this baby died of blunt force trauma. Do you guys know what blunt force trauma means? If you don't, we're getting ready to explain it. Blunt force trauma is when somebody hits a child, hits a person, hits a human being. The force that they impact them with causes their death. Blunt force trauma. It could be one hit, it could be multiple hits. But I personally think it was probably multiple hits. Here's the caveat, because I know some people might think that I'm being a little bit harsh. So here's the thing. I'll be real honest with y'all. When I looked up this story and I found what I thought was the mother, and I reached out to her, I was like, hey, I'm not going to do this story unless I talk to you first. So I sent her a message hoping that she would read it, and come to find out it was actually not the mom, but the grandmother. That's not shocking to me, because in our world, we're having children at young ages, 15, 16, 17, 18 years old. It's kind of common because the lady seemed like she was about my age. So I guess it didn't really shock me that she had a almost grown daughter, or I should say maybe grown. I don't know what the age of consent is in where they stay at out here in Cincinnati. I don't know what the age of consent is in Cincinnati, but this dude is 21, and the Romeo and Juliet law, I'm not sure if that applies in this situation. Okay. Because that would be, let me see, 21, 20, 19, 18. Yeah, I don't know. But let's move past that. The reason why I might put some of the blame on the mom is for this reason. We have to educate our children. And I'm going to tell you guys this. Y'all know I'm a father and I love to talk. My daughter will get on here and tell you, shout out to Crystal Chan, by the way. My baby will get on here and tell you, yeah, my daddy be talking to me about this stuff all the time. Even though my daughter hadn't got involved in this dating world yet, but as she gets older and gets later into her teenage years, she'll be more curious about dating, and daddy is going to be there every step of the way to make sure and tell her about the dangers of thugs, niggas, criminals, people on the internet that you can't see, and all of these different potholes that you could fall into that could damage your life, that could end your life. Dealing with non-reputable people, you have to be very careful. And I'm sorry, I just don't trust anybody. Okay? There's going to have to be a dude that's just flat out amazing for me to just be like, you know what, I think he all right. Because I'm just not going to trust very many people around my daughter at all. But I'll tell you this. I'm not sure if the mother of this baby had her dad in her life or not. I don't know that. But I just don't think that these young women, these young mothers who date thugs have a strong father figure in their life. You guys understand what I'm saying? It's a personal opinion. I don't think they pick men very well. You can have a dad in your life and still pick a bad man, but I just think it's more likely that you didn't have a good example when you end up with fools like this. Let me tell you why I say he's a thug. Again, referring to his actions. Are y'all ready for this? Are y'all ready for this? Why do I call him a thug? Is this his first time being in trouble with the law? Ha! No. Y'all know I bring facts to the table. Are y'all ready to hear about his criminal history that the mom should have known about before she had a baby by this fool or around this fool? Matter of fact, I don't even think he's the dad of this kid. I think that makes it a little more disgusting. I want y'all to think about this. Think about this. We're talking about bad choices. And when people are talking about, well, what do? We're educating. And I'm trying to educate. When you have children, you shouldn't be dating. Is that clear enough? When you have children and young children, as a mother, as a woman, you should not be dating. Your child should be your focus. Or working with the man who helped you create that child. But you damn sure shouldn't be dating, and you damn sure shouldn't be bringing new men around your kid. Let me tell you why. Because I don't think he's the biological father. They didn't name him as the father. So I'm going to assume in the black community, like we like to do, have kids and be up under another dude real quick. The baby was 6 months old. 6 months, not 6 years. How much time did she get to know this fool, Leandre Glenn? Even 6 months wouldn't be long enough for you to bring a 21-year-old around your kid. What do y'all look at him in the face and y'all tell me that boy looks slow? Huh? The boy looks slow. Look at him. I'm sorry, but people with little bitty legs and tiny jeans, I just think they're just bad people. Okay? I don't think suitable fathers walk around. Look at this. This boy got his whole underwear out. Y'all see this damn, let me blow this picture up. Y'all not gonna understand until I make this picture bigger. Okay? This is not a news station. I am not a newscaster. I'm just a father with an opinion. Okay? I'm trying to educate y'all about something. Look at this. Look at this. If you just looked at his pictures, this should tell you, you shouldn't have your kids around this. No. His shirt is too tiny. That shirt looked like it should be like on an 11-year-old. Huh? He has no chest. I think that if a grown man don't have a chest, he's probably not suitable to be a father. Okay? I think you need to get you a man that's got a little meat on his bones. And don't have his underwear showing his complete and whole ass. Y'all understand what I'm saying? If you have microscopic legs, I don't think that you're a suitable parent. Like you ain't never did no sports in your life ever. Look at this. That boy has on the smallest pair of jeans and still has room in them. Lord help y'all. This is what so many of these young women like. I don't understand it. But look, you can like that if you don't have kids. Fine. If that's what you want to date, fine. If you want to date somebody who pants is so tight that it's squeezing their nutsack so that they gon' let me not say that. Talk about how they produce children. Let me be careful. Let me parse my words before I say something to get me flagged. Why do I call him a thug? Here's why. Court documents have been pulled up. His records have been pulled up. Are y'all ready to hear this? Matter of fact, if y'all will listen to the sound of my voice, do me a favor if you haven't already done so. We need to get about 600 thumbs up. I would love to have 600 thumbs up. If y'all would just click that thumbs up, share this video, and let more people know that we're here talking about this story, okay? I think that that baby's life deserved being heard about. That's a beautiful baby boy. That is an absolutely gorgeous, beautiful baby boy. He could have grown up to become anything. And his life was robbed. His life was robbed of him by this fool who already had a criminal past. Let's talk about it. He has other unrelated charges that are pending against him. This is going to throw y'all out of y'all chair. So I hope y'all are strapped in. Court records show that he is accused of carrying a concealed weapon, improperly handling a firearm in a motor vehicle, possession of marijuana, possession of drug paraphernalia, driving with a suspended license, and running a red light in Cincinnati. Did y'all catch all of that? Here's why I'm saying that. Glenn pleaded guilty in August of 2020 to failing to comply with an order from a Cincinnati police officer, and he was sentenced to 180 days in jail with 179 days suspended, credit for 1 day already served, and 3 years probation. 3 years probation. Not 1, not 2, 3 years probation. An affidavit filed in the case said Glenn refused to pull over for a police officer attempting to make a traffic stop on May the 4th of 2020. He wrecked the vehicle he was driving in Hawaiian Terrace and fled on foot, ran from the police. Why did I tell y'all all of that? Because this boy he's not even a man. That means this boy was fresh out of jail on either bond or parole when he murdered this baby. Hello? Hello? Is this mic working? Can y'all hear me? Let me verify my sound. Let me make sure you guys can hear me. I'm not sure that y'all can hear anything that I'm saying. Let me make sure y'all can hear me. When he murdered this baby. Ooh. Mike sounds good. Mike sounds real good. Somebody please post that in the chat. If you can't chat, just subscribe to the channel. It'll allow you to chat. It's free. It's easy. Just subscribe. Make that red subscribe white, and then you can chat. Somebody post that in the chat, please. He was out of jail, fresh out of jail when he murdered this child. Somebody let me know that you heard me. This is why I bring the mother up in this situation. Because you have to ask, whose job is it to protect the baby? Is it society's job to protect the baby? Is it your senators, your mayors, the police officers, CPS, DPS? CBS, NBC, ESPN? Whose job is it to protect the children? Biological mother, biological father. So if he's not the biological father, 6 months, he just got out of jail. That means you just got done having this baby. Where is the biological father in 6 months? Where is the biological father in 6 months? We are just having babies by anybody. Can I blame the moms? Sure, I could. But I think us as men or these elder boys need to really think about where y'all are putting y'all seeds at, man. We are spreading disease, STDs, and babies just anywhere and everywhere. We are just having it indiscriminately for the benefits that we can collect off of these children, which is called what? Hashtag babies for benefits. Let me give you the fair usage. Let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. All right, we're getting ready to show the videos. All right, here we go.
An Avondale man is charged with murder and the death of a baby made a court appearance this morning. Andrea Medina now joining us live outside the Hamilton County Justice Center with what came of that. So, Andrea.
Hey, Chris. Well, Leandre Glenn remains behind bars, and Glenn showed up to court on charges that he allegedly purposely caused the death of a 6-month-old baby almost 2 months ago. Now, police and the prosecutor's office aren't releasing much information on the circumstances of this case, but a judge set his bond at $1 million. On Monday morning, 21-year-old Leandre Glenn appeared in court for the first time since he was arrested on Saturday.
Your Honor, the defendants accused of purposely causing the death of a 6-month-old child. Cincinnati police are requesting a high bond. This event occurred on June 15th.
That's coming from the assistant prosecutor. As Glenn stood before the judge, he never addressed the court.
Let me turn this down. I'm sorry. I know it's a little bit loud. We're going to try to adjust. Remember, this is a new mixer. Y'all bear with me. This video was a little bit loud, so I'm sorry about that. I'm going to try to fix it.
On Monday morning, 21-year-old Leandre Glenn appeared in court for the first time since he was arrested on Saturday.
Your Honor, the defendants accused of purposely causing the death of a 6-month-old child. Cincinnati police are requesting a high bond. This event occurred on June 15th.
That's coming from the assistant prosecutor. As Glenn stood before the judge, he never addressed the court. But Glenn's attorney spoke on his behalf and said he has been cooperating with the investigation.
Judge, as to the allegations, they are serious. However, June 15th till now, my client stayed in Hamilton County. He knew the death of the child. He didn't leave. He didn't run. He actually cooperated with law enforcement when he came in. It did not just a day or so ago.
According to a court complaint, investigators believe Glenn purposely caused the death of a 6-month-old baby on June 15th, but they haven't said how the baby died. Cincinnati police arrested Glenn this past Saturday at his home on Reading Road and Glenwood Avenue in Avondale. Glenn lives on a busy street with several businesses and occupied apartment buildings lining the block. Neighbors didn't want to go on camera for fear of retaliation, but those we spoke with were shocked someone in the area was capable of doing that to a baby. According to the incident report, police went to Glenn's apartment after being notified. Investigators have not said what Glenn's relationship to the baby might be. The coroner's office has identified the baby as a boy. They said he died at Cincinnati Children's Hospital on June 20th. In court, the assistant prosecutor says Glenn was out on bond at the time of the baby's death. He was arrested last month and has a 2-count indictment pending for gun charges on an unrelated case.
Let me let y'all hear that one more time. The baby died. The baby was in his custody. Why? And some people are asking, like, well, what was his relationship to the mom? This is mom's boyfriend. Mama was in love with this dude. It's mom's boyfriend. Type it in the chat. Mom's boyfriend. Let me let y'all hear this again. He was fresh out of jail and murdered this baby right out of jail.
Court, the assistant prosecutor says Glenn was out on bond at the time of the baby's death.
He was out on bond at the time of the baby's death. Let me let y'all hear that again.
Court, the assistant prosecutor says Glenn was out on bond at the time of the baby's death. He was arrested last month and has a 2-count indictment pending for gun charges on an unrelated case.
A simple background check would have told you that. Simple background check. It don't even cost that much money.
Court, the assistant prosecutor says Glenn was out on bond at the time of the baby's death. He was arrested last month and has a 2-count indictment pending for gun charges on an unrelated case.
I'm sorry, I just don't like that. The fact that we don't even take time to do a simple background check to find out, oh, this man might be a pedophile. Oh, this man might be a criminal. Oh, this man might be wanted for murder. And we're just gonna leave our kids around? Why? Because you like sleeping with his nappy-headed self? Why? What qualifies this 24-year-old to be a babysitter? Please tell me one thing. What was one quality that this fool had that qualified him to be a babysitter of a 6-month-old?
An Avondale man is in jail tonight, charged with the murder of a 6-month-old.
21-year-old Leandre Glenn was in court today on 1 count of murder in the death of the baby boy. WLWT News 5 anchor Ashley Kirkland has more on what we know so far. Ashley.
Hi, Cherie and Stephen. Well, the baby boy that Glenn is accused of murdering is Christopher Walters. According to the coroner's report, the baby died at Children's Hospital, but at this point, the cause of the infant's death is listed as pending. Now, court documents say Glenn purposely caused the death of a 6-month-old child June 15th. Now, at the time, Glenn was out on bond for a gun charge in an unrelated case. We are also still working to learn where this alleged crime took place and what the relationship was between the baby and Glenn. Hamilton County Prosecutor Joe Dieters declined to comment on this case today, but unfortunately, we have talked to him in a number of infant murder cases lately, and here's what he had to say about some of the recent cases last month.
We'll try to listen to this, and if y'all are listening, we're at 3:45. Make sure y'all click that thumbs up. We're like really close to our goal, so we need 55 more people. Please click that thumbs up. We're doing good. Listen to this.
I mean, these kids are being treated like garbage or a pet you hate. It is unbelievable what is going on.
And of course, we hope to learn more information in the coming days. We did hear from Walter's family in a statement. They said that he was a happy and lovable baby, and they cannot believe anyone would want to hurt him. Now, Glenn is being held in the Hamilton County Jail.
You can't believe that a criminal would hurt a baby? A thug would hurt a baby? Huh, interesting.
An arrest in the murder of a 6-month-old baby boy. It is the latest child death in our city, and WCPO 9 News reporter Courtney Francisco has been following most of these cases. In some of them, the children's bodies are still missing, and she was at the Hamilton County Courthouse as this current case took a step forward today.
Leandre Glenn was in court for a bond hearing in this murder case, a 6-month-old baby boy dead. We sifted through court documents to try to find out what led up to the killing. You can see Glenn as he walked into his bond hearing. He stood next to his attorney, Herb Haas. The prosecutor says this case began June 15th. He did not say how the child was hurt or how Glenn was involved, but a police report says the incident happened at a home on Reading Road. Glenn's family was there but declined to comment. They tell me the child's mother lives at a different address. Police took Glenn in for questioning June 26th and arrested him the same day. Monday the 28th, the bond hearing. Here's what his attorney had to say when asking the judge for a bond Glenn could afford to pay.
As to the allegations, they are serious. However, June 15th till now, my client has stayed in Hamilton County. He knew the death of the child. He didn't leave. He didn't run. He actually cooperated with law enforcement when they came and picked him up just a day or so ago.
This case marks at least 6 child deaths in Greater Cincinnati this year. Investigators say James Hutchison and Nilo Lattimore are still missing in the Ohio River. Prosecutors have also released the name of the 2-year-old who died after...
Y'all know we did and talked about both of those stories also.
Investigators say her grandmother dismembered her body and put her in a cooler in April. She was Zayla Lee. A grand jury indicted the grandmother.
We just talked about that story. It's on the channel.
Tanya Austin this month. And the mom of a toddler who ingested fentanyl stands charged with murder and drug trafficking in Kenton County. Back here at the courthouse, a judge set Glenn's bond at $1 million for the murder charge. The case goes before a grand jury July 6th. Reporting in Cincinnati, Courtney Francisco, WCPO 9 News.
Let me give my closing thoughts about this real quick. And let me say this. I think it's really sad. Look, let's just get past the point that people are going to have sex. Women are going to get pregnant and have these kids. Okay, fine. But can we at least at some point start analyzing what we're doing and who we're doing it with? If we're not going to vet the dudes that we're sleeping with, can't we at least vet the people? Don't you go check before you go just take your child to a daycare? Would you not find out what their credentials are, what their ratings are, some reviews, get a recommendation? Huh? Before you just drop your kids off at any daycare, or do you just go sign in somewhere and pay the money, or swipe your card in some cases? Not everybody pays for that. But, and just take your kid and drop them off? No, most people usually will vet a babysitter who are usually licensed babysitters. So why would you, in your mind, I'm trying to be real reasonable and I'm trying to be real respectful, because I did talk to the grandmother, okay? And I mean, from the bottom of my heart, I mean no disrespect. I can't save this baby, but maybe I can save another young woman's baby before she puts her child in this type of danger. That's my point. That's the point of this podcast, is to save lives. We can't resurrect lives, but we can save lives. That's the point of this thing. So my point is to educate us and say, if we would vet a babysitter, why the hell would you not vet somebody like a boyfriend? Knowing that this man has a criminal past, and if you didn't know he had a criminal past, a simple background check would have told you that. The Cincinnati News came out and told you that, because it wasn't hard to find. If people in other states can find this information out, then the person you're sleeping with should be able to find this information out as well. And if we're not willing to do that for the sake of our children, to hold yourself accountable, then you damn sure shouldn't be leaving your kids around them. Let me ask you this. You only just had this kid 6 months ago, this beautiful, beautiful baby boy. And I would hear y'all say stuff like, I would do anything for my baby. That's my baby. That's mama's heart. I would die for him. I would give my last breath for my baby. But we won't even give our children a fair chance before we just leave our children around somebody who's not qualified to be around kids. He has no qualifications to be around kids at all. Let me tell y'all some real talk. Y'all ready for this? You can look at my daughter's mother. Use me as an example. I don't mind being an example. Use me as an example. What qualified me to be around my child? To have a child by my daughter's mother, let alone being around my child, besides the fact that it's my biological kid, DNA and all? What qualified DJ Just Jay to be around his kid? I was a counselor to children first. I was an educator to children first. I've had dating experience with women who had children and young children first. I've had plenty of experience being around young children and babies. So all of that preparation, and let me tell y'all this, I had a ton of preparation by the time I was 24. There was only 3 years that separated me and this fool. 3 years. I was 24 when I had my daughter. And let me tell y'all something. Me and my daughter's mother still struggled. We had help from her mom, my dad, our grandparents, cousins. With one kid, all of us together. it was still tough to take care of one kid. It took our village to raise that one kid. And we still got a ways to go because she's a teenager now. I had plenty of experience and it was still hard. It was still frustrating. I still had to learn. I had to learn to feed her. I had to learn to change her. I had to learn to deal with her moods. I had to learn to deal with her when she was sick, not feeling well. And it will take a toll on you mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and financially. And you look at Mr. Skinny Legs, Mr. Skinny Jeans, and want to look cute like some damn fashionista or something with his pants hanging off his ass. Y'all know what that means when they have their pants hanging off their butt. That's a prison thing. That's why I think these boys are sweet and soft. Nothing qualified him to be around that baby at all. You just absolutely did not care enough. That's the point that I'm trying to put out to educate others. We've lost this baby. We can't do anything about that. But what I can do is educate this mother's friends, this mother's family, her surrounding community, city, state, and around the rest of the world. If you share this video, we can educate and help save lives so we don't get to this point. We have to stop thinking about our own personal pleasures, what feels good to us, what we want, and us being happy and us not being lonely. That has to come dead last. That has to come dead last. Because if you're more worried about your personal pleasure when you're a mother or you have kids or you're a custodial parent, then you shouldn't have kids. It's just that simple. And I hope that they get us full life in prison for what he did to that baby. That baby couldn't speak for itself nor defend itself. And that is just a beautiful baby boy. And this is really sad. And let me put some respect on this baby's name. This baby was 6 months old. 6 months old. It's a beautiful baby boy. And I apologize that I didn't have his full name. But let me say this. To baby Christopher, 6-month-old young prince, R.I.P. R.I.P. Thank you guys so much for listening to the story with an open mind and an open heart. And I hope it helps somebody, okay? Thank you.